Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most celebrated boxers to ever step in the ring.
Yes.
I lost count of how many titles he had, how many title defenses he made, how many records he broke.
Yes.
How important he's been into the art of boxing, the sport of boxing, even as a commentator, even as a promoter. And the man hasn't aged in 20 years. So that makes him 25. The one and only Bernard Hopkins is here.
B-Hop.
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 And then also joining us, and I asked Bernard if he didn't mind because he could easily throw a three-part combination on me. I also asked him if he minded if one of the most celebrated football players to ever pick up a ball and run it through a line. I grew up in the 70s, and in the 70s you had the Oakland Raiders, from me being in Oakland,
Yeah.
the Dallas Cowboys,
Yes.
and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's who who you emulated, who you idolized, and I idolized him. He was one of the most prolific runners in the game, played for a great team. Lynn Swan was there. Stallworth, all these different people that came from that Pittsburgh Steelers organization, the one and only Franco Harris.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh
Watch
Steelers,
out.
man.
Here we go.
4-time Super Bowl champion you standing next to, Bernard Hopkins.
Yes, sir. It's still curtain, man. I mean, I'm Philadelphia and the Eagles, man. We know about that. You know, we took out beatings, but let me tell you, mad respect to you. Sway told me he was going to be sitting here, and he said, what do you think? I said, I'll stand up, man. If he need another chair, I ain't got to worry about it. My legs are
love.
stand
That's
up.
love.
And that's love and respect.
Yes.
It's love and respect.
Oh, you know what? So I just want to say that, 2-3 years ago, the Eagles went to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so here I am, right? I grew up an Eagles fan, right? And I said, oh my gosh, this is incredible, because now I get to root for my childhood team.
Yeah.
And I'm doing Super Bowl week, talking about my childhood team, the Eagles, and pulling form and all this kind of stuff. When they won that game, man, like a little kid all over again.
We were
there.
The Philly special. The Philly special.
Who would have thought that, we see
Backup quarterback.
Eagles win a Super Bowl in our lifetime. We're like, man, that was great. Just a beautiful game, and so just once again, living my childhood.
Yeah, man. We were singing "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead" when the Eagles won. They beat the Pats. It was like, are you kidding me? That actually took place. I'm a Raiders fan.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought? Mr. Harris, Franco, if you don't mind, man.
No, Franco, please.
Franco, okay, cool, great. I could call you Franco. One of the things I admire about you as well is the work you do off the field, and you're an advocate for entrepreneurship and empowerment, right?
Very much so.
Can you talk on that?
Very much so. Oh, sure. You know what? Just like anything when you're in sports, we all know it comes to an end. And so the transition can be very tough and difficult for a lot of guys. But I always had this desire to be in business. And I don't know where that came from. But, like I probably do in a way, I guess. But I always wanted to be in business, and so when I retired, I would say, I sat down and said, okay, Frankie, what are you going to do now? I said, well, one thing you're going to do is not sit around on this couch and just sit around. You're going to go ahead and get busy right away. So I got busy right away, and I started a little food distribution company. And I did it myself, and I loaded trucks, unloaded trucks. I delivered product out the back of my car, and so people. So the first time one of my deliveries, right?
Yeah.
I went about an hour to deliver 2 cases, right? And got out of my car, had these 2 cases in my hand, carrying them into the store. Older couple were backing up, and the husband said to her, "Hey, I think that's Franco Harris." And she said, "Oh no, that's not Franco. He wouldn't be carrying boxes in the store."
Yeah.
So it made me think, did she think I was a failure? Because here I am trying to build a business and I'm carrying boxes in a store. And if I would have worried about that, I never would have built my business, because I have to admit there were some guys that were offered jobs, and And even though the ball player didn't have a job at that time,
Yeah.
they thought they were above that job.
Man.
And wouldn't take that job, even though that job had some good opportunity in the future. But it's hard, with that, to tell people, because fans can be tough, right? Just like the one say, "Oh, look at Franco, he's carrying boxes in the store now. He must be a failure."
Yeah.
Once he's running back, but now he's doing that. Now, I just point, right? So, okay, move that box. Move that box.
But you have to go through the process.
Go through the process, and I try to tell, young athletes now that don't buy your way to the top because you have the money. Learn the business and learn it from the bottom up.
Because if you buy it and you can afford it, and you get there and can't run it, don't know
Truth.
Don't know the nitty gritty.
Facts.
Because
I looked at it
You did
years in boxing.
Yeah.
And me and Sway been behind his microphones when it was boxing matches, whether I was involved in that physically or promoting, like I've been doing for almost 20 years with Golden Boy Promotion, my partner Oscar De La Hoya out in L.A. I realized, not just from boxing, in just about all contact sports that I am attracted to, Franco and Sway, why do 90% of us get a 10-plus year relationship in boxing or a career, if that? I got 30 when I retired.
Yeah.
I was 29 years of professional boxing as a professional, 18 to 52. Now it's a time to spend more time with family and community and invest this way or that way. But Sway, majority of us, when it's over, the labor, the challenges, making history, some made the Hall of Fame. I go in June of this year, upstate New York,
Amen.
California.
Amen. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We have nothing, not even health insurance, not even a pension, not even anything to fall back on. And it's not just in boxing. Now, once you get of age, you got to make the right decisions and be in position to make the right decisions. And a lot of that is not taught, especially in boxing, early on. In boxing, don't have to mention names, look at the facts. There's a lot of documentaries out on the past and now where, whether it's the agent, whether it's the manager, and I'm not blaming them, they're going to get their money.
Yeah.
They're going to invest it the way they want to invest it. But it seems that the horse that pulls the carriage wound up at the end of all that career with the less and the lumps.
Yeah.
And the after fact, the effects of what we do
Yeah.
will always be with you until the second half and the ending of your time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a lot of
I'm still
times,
deep when I rap, man. You know that, right, Sway? I'm still giving it, I'm still dropping them
That's
jewels.
why we connect. Come on.
And like a lot of times, just to follow what you were saying, that we hope that the qualities and skills that they learn along the way about, the work ethic you have to put into it. I mean, the work ethics that boxers, that's incredible, insane.
Yeah.
The attitude, the will to win, the will to keep going. That those are the sort of things that have to, I guess, you transfer over to your life after that sport. You know what I mean? And like, no matter what you get into, that you have to learn the basics. There's always some basics that you start with. And
one of them is ducking.
Yeah,
If your fighter is ducking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Put that move on him.
Y'all see that shit? You still got it.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see
got it, baby.
I was watching the legs.
Franco.
Sway had the top part. I was watching these.
Always gotta watch the knees and the waist.
What?
I know.
You watch the feet. I know that.
He tried to pivot while he was sitting. I never seen a guy pivot while he was sitting.
Come on now.
How the hell you pivot?
Hey, listen, guys. Because of this, we're on a tight time restraint, so I hate
Yes.
that I have to do this.
Legends. We with legends,
We're
too,
with
man.
legends today. Bernard Hopkins, when are you next in New York? I need time to sit and talk with you on the air.
Next month, Sway. Pick a day. My daughter's in college.
Congratulations.
My daughter's second year in college.
Uh-huh.
Patrice,
Wow.
I love her. She's doing great. She at Pace University, Lower Manhattan.
Congratulations.
Tracy G's alma mater.
Yes. She 3.5 GPA, second year making the Dean's List.
Congratulations.
man.
She just moved out of campus. I was trying to keep her another year, but I failed.
Yeah.
I did get KO, and I tried. I want you to stay on campus.
Yeah, it never worked.
And
They have
she's
to enjoy college.
Dad, I want independence.
Sway daughter did the same thing.
She did?
Got me. It was pissed. I was so
Sway,
mad.
your daughter did the same thing?
Did the same thing,
All
but
right.
our junior year. She
So
got
can I
out of
give
there.
you? Can I give you a hug and you give me a hug?
Yeah, come here, man. We need this,
Aw,
baby. Come
Sway
on,
and
man.
B-Hop
Come on,
hugging
man.
it out for their daughters.
Yeah,
Look at those.
we're girl dads.
Yes,
girl
girl
dads.
dads.
100%.
All right. What brings you here, real quick, B-Hop? You here for the sports event?
Yes, tonight we have fights tonight. Listen, Jojo Diaz is really exciting fighter, man. That's coming to take that title, and you know it's going to be one of those fights, man, where you're going to grow with the next superstar.
Yeah. And when you come back next month, let's sit down. Let's take an hour out.
In New York.
In New York, sit on it. I'm a boxing. I'm like a couch expert. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I know what I like.
Listen.
Okay?
Yep.
There's no excuse. Philly and New York is like around the corner.
Yeah, I know, man. So we're gonna reconnect, and then Franco, and what do you got going on? You're doing some things too, right?
Right, with a company called Dolorex, and we make
CBD
CBD products.
Yes. yes.
Wow.
And-
Mr. Harris, whenever you in New York, come see us as well. For
Thank you.
real.
And CBD products that perform. Everything's about performance, right?
Oh yeah.
Performance, and also CBD product that you can trust.
Okay.
And that's
You use
So-
very
them?
important.
You use the product?
Yes. Well, luckily not that. I don't have to use it every day.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do drink some of our shots, and some of the creams when something minor flares up, which luckily is not very often for me. But also I do drink these CBD products
Okay.
because unbeknownst, and I didn't know this either, all of us have cannabinoids in our body.
Yeah.
And we know that, and I didn't know. We all have the cannabinoids in our bodies, things that are in CBD product, these cannabinoids we have in our bodies naturally. And as we get older, we tend to lose, these cannabinoids. And so they have to be refreshed and
Wow.
replenished.
Daily.
And
Daily.
you have to do that, with, as part of your lifestyle, because because these receptors affect so many things in your body.
Yeah.
And these cannabinoids have to be replaced and refreshed. And so Dolorex, our product is
Interesting. Doulurx.
right.
Dolorex.
Yeah, Dolorex.
Yeah, Dolorex.
Gentlemen, I know if we have more time,
I
this will
know.
be even
We
more
would look
incredible. But the
legends,
time we
Sway.
have has been incredible. Franco, love you, bruh.
Yes.
Thank you
Yeah,
for all
love
that
you guys.
He's from
inspiration.
Jersey, Sway.
Yeah, man, this was real exciting. This
Okay,
really
cool,
was.
man. Come hang out with us
Enjoyed it.
anytime. You ever in New York, come see us at Sirius
Yes.
XM, man. We'll treat you like the
Beautiful.
royalty you are. Absolutely. Same with B-Hop, man. This is my brother.
I know.
But I never forget, and I'll never let him forget who he is. You're such an inspiration. You're such an inspiration. You keep us motivated. You show us how to live the highest quality of
Amen.
life. And you never hesitated to share your wisdom, your knowledge, your expertise. That's you from day one, man. One of the first conversations I had with you was about De La Hoya and Manny Pacquiao, and they were going to fight in Manila. And we sat. Matter of fact, it was here in Miami.
Miami.
It was in Miami.
You know, I come here, I got a place here, and it was here in Miami. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And we was talking about how big this fight was and
Yeah.
our opinions.
Yeah.
It was a great
It
conversation.
was a great conversation. So I want
And
to.
we talked many times
Many
about
ti-
fights, about everything. We talked about the 2001 in New York City when I fought Tito
That's right.
and running out of Puerto Rico.
Yes, that's right. And running out of Puerto Rico. You got to come back. So next month, we're going to
In New
have
York.
in New York, Bernard Hopkins sit down one-on-one with us. All the guests.
Hall
that
of
come-
Fame.
The Hall of Fame, baby.
June
This
20th.
is it. June 20th. We got to talk that up. And then Franco, thanks for coming by. All our guests that came by today, Sirius XM, our production team,
Yes.
Miami Convention Center. We'll be back broadcasting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.